Wow. This race gave me some anxiety. It had me on the edge of my seat, or more like the edge of my bed. But this was a wild one. We have a lot to talk about, guys. We have a lot to talk about. Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 48 back again, and welcome back to another episode of NRR. And in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2021 Coke Zero Sugar 400 here today from Daytona National Speedway. The final race of the regular season, the 26th race of the season. We are now in the final stretch of the season with the 10 race playoffs about to start next week at Darlington. Ryan Blaney gets the win here today at Daytona. It's weird. The race last week, the first time Blaney gets more than one win a season at last week at Michigan, then the next week he wins again. So is this going to be a continuation? Will he win at Darlington? I mean, I don't know if he's that good at Darlington, but we'll see. But still, wow, just can't believe it. But still, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to look at our top 10 finishers. We're going to rate the race, talk about the biggest story of the race. We're also going to look at the drivers that had a good race and a bad race. I'm pretty sure we have a lot that did have a bad race. And also look at the playoff standings, or just, the playoff standings, since the playoffs are finally set for the 2021 NASCAR season. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive on into this episode. Finishing at first was Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney is able to get the win here today at Daytona. He mostly got it because the caution came out on the final lap of the race when there was a big crash in turn number 3, and they had to throw the caution to make sure everyone was okay. And so Blaney crossed the line first over Chris Buescher, finished second. He gets his 7th career win, his 2nd win in a row, his 3rd win of 2021, his 3rd win on a restrictor plate, 1st win at Daytona. He's also now won on both super speedway races, and this is also Penske's 1st win at Daytona since Brad Keselowski won this exact race, for the 4th of July back in 2016, when Keselowski, I believe, got his 1st win at Daytona, I'm pretty sure. And also, Ford has now won 3 of the 4 restrictor plate races this season, so we do have Talladega, so who's going to win it is going to be a Chevy, Toyota, or Ford. And so, yeah, congrats to Ryan Blaney, the 12 team. This is huge momentum for the 12 team going into the playoffs, winning 2 races in a row, and now heading into the playoffs with this momentum. This is just like Austin Hill with the Truck Series. Won the last 2 races of the regular season for the Truck Series, winning at Watkins Glen and at Gateway, now headed into the playoffs. So this, or no, not Gateway, but he won at Knoxville and Watkins Glen going into the playoffs, and Austin Hill didn't do so well, but still, Blaney has a lot of momentum headed into the playoffs, because we all know last year it was a struggle bus for them in the playoffs. So we'll see how they do. But yeah, congrats to Blaney and the 12 team, and we'll see what they can do in the playoffs. Finishing in second was my boy Chris Buescher, who I think is the most underrated NASCAR driver in the Cup Series to this day. Comes up oh so close, finishing in second to Ryan Blaney, just 1 spot away from making the playoffs. A huge disappointment for that number 17 team and for just Roush Fenway in general. But hey, they got their first top 5 finish of the season, also their 5th top 10 finish of the season, and this is their first top 10 finish since the Coke 600 back in May. So definitely really good for the 17 team, but definitely wanted to get the win. Heck, their sponsor was Fifth Third Bank, and they just signed a contract with them that they'll be the sponsor for the 17 team through 2026. So it would have been cool if he would have gotten the win for them, but Cubs up oh so close second here today. So it really sucks for Chris Buescher. He was running pretty well in the closing laps of the race here at Daytona, but just could not get it done. That just shows how wild and crazy these final laps at restrictor places, especially at Daytona, can be. So really sucks for the 17 team, but all they can do right now is try to get a win and see what they can do for next season. So at least congrats for getting their first top 5, but we'll see what Buescher can do for the rest of the season. Finishing in third was Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace, another driver who came up oh so close, running in that really cool looking Columbia sportswear car. But man, Bubba Wallace, a lot of fans were just rooting for him and stuff. We were just all rooting for him, just trying to make the playoffs. He almost had it. The closest Bubba Wallace has came to making the playoffs in his NASCAR Cup Series career. Came up just a bit short. He does get his 2nd top 5 finish for 2311 Racing, also 2nd top 10. First time they got a top 5, top 10 since the 2nd race at Pocono in June. So it's a pretty solid day for the 23 team, but just they just wanted more. And actually, not since June, but since July. But still, Bubba Wallace just came up oh so short. He led a few laps today, and also he did say in his interview that he feel like that he did not have a lot of help from his teammates, which I can definitely agree, especially from Denny Hamlin, because Denny Hamlin was mostly focused on getting his first win of the year and stuff, and he was also trying to win the regular season championship. But he did have a bit of help from Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell and Martin Truex Jr., but those three crashed out in the race, and Bubba Wallace was all by himself. And Landon Castle, who also had a really great day, he also crashed out, and Denny Hamlin was the only one left remaining. So it really sucks for Bubba Wallace and the 23 team to not make the playoffs. Like, I predicted them to make the playoffs, but they came out close, but not enough. But this does show me that they do have potential of possibly making the playoffs for next year. So we'll see what they can do next year, but let's see if they can get their first win for this year in these last 10 races. But yeah, still congrats to Bubba Wallace getting another top 5 finish. Finishing in fourth was Ryan Newman, and not only did Bubba Wallace get his best finish of 2021, so did Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman comes home fourth, his best finish of the year, his first top 10 since, this is first top 10 since, 2 weeks ago at Indianapolis, so no big deal, but still pretty cool for Ryan Newman to get his best finish of the year. Did not make the playoffs, and we don't know, this could have been his final race at Daytona, so that was probably a moment right there for him, because he was running up near the front when they had that caution, when 3 Rick Ware cars went around. It was Garrett Smithley, Joey Gase, and Cody Ware. Once that wreck happened, Ford was all in the lead, and looks like Ryan Newman, he could have gotten it, but just could not. But still, decent race for the number 6 team. I guess this could be his final 10 races of his NASCAR Cup Series career, but we'll see what happens with Ryan Newman, because I still predict that he will retire after the season, so we'll just see. But still, decent race for Ryan Newman, the 6th team, and yeah, they just kept their car clean, so let's see if they can get a win in these last 10 races. Finishing in 5th was Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece gets his first top 5 finish of the season, also his first top 10 finish since the second Pocono race. So 4 top 10 finishes for Ryan Preece in the 3017, better than last season, I'd have to say. But still, they also couldn't make the playoffs, just didn't just have it. It would have been pretty cool if they made the playoffs, especially having that thing happen, or that announcement that we found out early in the season where not all of their races were going to be sponsored and stuff, and they had a problem with their charter and stuff, so that would have been really cool if he would have made the playoffs, but sadly he did not. But still, pretty decent effort by Ryan Preece in the 3017, probably just happy they came up with the top 5, so this could be, like I said in my predictions video, this could be the last few races we see Ryan Preece running in this 37 car, or the 37 car in NASCAR in general, because I feel like GMS would want to pick someone like Ryan Preece up, but we'll see. But anyway, let's see what Ryan Preece can do in these final 10 races, I guess. Tyler Reddick was able to get his first top 10 finish since Watkins Glen, which wasn't too far ago, or too long ago. Heck, it was this month. But still, a really great comeback for Tyler Reddick in the 18. They were running they were just running fine. Stage 1, they had some issues and stuff, like radio issues, like he couldn't probably hear his crew chief or spotter or something. Probably just his crew chief. And then stage 2, they were running really well. They finished 4th in stage 2. And in stage 3, they got caught up in that wreck down the backstretch. Had heavy damage. Nothing wrong. Nothing was wrong. Like, Reddick said that the pressure in the car was okay. It was just some smoke coming out of the car. And so then they had that other restart, and that wreck Austin Dillon was collected in, and then Reddick nearly wrecked. He nearly got in it, but he saved it. He had help with Justin Haley, and he was able to come back, finish in a nice 6th place finish, and Reddick is now the final driver to make the playoffs. So congrats to Tyler Reddick in the 18. They make the playoffs for the first time in only their 2nd season. That's pretty cool. Now the thing is, how far can they go, and will we see a win come out of this 18? Because I feel like the 18 could probably eliminate a pretty high running driver in the playoffs right now. But we'll have to find out. Let's say that for my playoff predictions that I'm going to upload this Friday. But we'll just find out. But still, congrats to Tyler Reddick in the 18. Finishing 7th was Justin Haley. And guys, you got to think about this. Haley has been on a roll recently. I mean, he just got a top 10 finish at the Brickyard at the Indy Road Course. That's his home track. He also gets a top 10 today in the Cup Series. And earlier today, he just won the Xfinity Series race over AJ Allmendinger. So Justin Haley's just been having a really great, having really great races in these last 3 weeks and stuff. So congrats to him in the 77 team getting his, I believe, his second top 10 finish of the season. So that's pretty cool for Justin Haley and the 77 team. Finally locked into the playoffs in the Xfinity Series and gets a nice solid top 10 here today. So that's pretty cool for him. Also, his best finish of the year, 7. So that's really cool. And anyway, just a nice solid day for the 77 team. Even if they would have won, it still would have counted as a career win, but he wouldn't have made the playoffs anyway because he hasn't competed in all the races. But still, decent race for Justin Haley and the 77 team. Finishing in 8th was my boy Alex Bowman. I haven't had Alex Bowman up here in my top 10 finishers in a while. It's been a while since maybe the New Hampshire race, but you know the New Hampshire race wasn't long ago, but you gotta think that was like the race before the 2-week-long break. So it has been a while since Bowman's been in the top 10, but still gets a nice solid top 10 finish after having he's had a wild day as well. I think he took some damage in that first wreck that happened in Stage 3. Also got caught up in the other one, but still was able to get a nice solid 8th place finish. So congrats to Alex Bowman and stuff. And really just congrats to Hendrick Motorsports. All 4 of the drivers have officially made the playoffs in the NASCAR Cup Series for the first time since 2014. So that must be really cool for Mr. Hendrick. But still, decent race for Alex Bowman and the 48 team. And we'll see what they can do in the NASCAR playoffs. Finishing in 9th was Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott, this is 4 straight top 10 finishes, so that's really cool for them that started at Watkins Glen to now here at Daytona. And so they're definitely going to enter into the playoffs with some pretty good hope because they had a wild day as well. They won Stage 1, and then in the race, him and Matt DiBenedetto were switching lanes, and then that ended up in a wreck, and Elliott was caught up in it. I thought that would end his race, but he came back and got a 9th place finish. I don't know how the heck that happened, probably because of the big one that happened on the final lap. But still, Elliott rebounded, got a nice solid 9th place finish, but still really cool for the 9 team and stuff. And like I said with Alex Bowman, we'll see how Chase Elliott does in the NASCAR playoffs. Can the reigning series champion defend his title? Only one way to find out, folks. And finally, rounding out the top 10 is a fun one. BJ McLeod gets his best ever finish in the NASCAR Cup Series. Gets 10th here today at Daytona. That must be really cool for them. This is not a Ford, it's a Toyota, but it's 78, so it does not matter. But still, BJ McLeod able to get a nice solid top 10 finish, which is really cool for him because he was, I don't know if he was sponsoring E Motorsports games today, but, you know, they had that set up outside the track, you know, for the fans in the fan zone, you know, for NASCAR Ignition that's going to be coming out in October, so that must be pretty cool for them and stuff. So yeah, congrats to BJ McLeod getting his best finish of his NASCAR career and getting a nice solid top 10 finish here at Daytona, and let's see if they can build up from here, build from the ground up. But still, congrats to BJ McLeod and Live Fast Motorsports. And now let's rate this race. Like I said earlier, this was a wild one. So much happened. So many passes, so many lead changes. Just a lot of things happening. Some epic saves that gave me so much anxiety thinking, oh, he's about to wreck. I'm like, oh, no, he's fine. Like that Kyle Busch save at the end of, Stage 1, Stage 2, I think. That was a hell of a save right there. So I'm not sure what to give the score, but I think I have a pretty good idea. I'm going to give it a nice, solid 9 out of 10. It was a really great race. You know, actually, I'm going to give it a 9.5. You know, screw it. I'm going to give this race a 10 out of 10. Just fantastic and stuff. Great racing overall. Really could have been really good, or a nice Cinderella story if someone new won this race. But Reddick made the playoffs, so that's all and fine. But still, I give it a nice solid 10 out of 10 race. This was definitely better than that snooze Daytona 500 we got at the beginning of the season. So I give it a 10 out of 10. Let me know what you guys give it in the comment section below. And now this week's big story of the race, or the biggest thing that happened during this race, was the playoff battle between Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick unfolding. So at the beginning of this race in Stage 1, Austin Dillon was running pretty well. Like I said, with Tyler Reddick had some radio issues with his team, and Austin Dillon was firing up on all cylinders. And at the end of Stage 1, we're actually coming into this race, Reddick was above Austin Dillon by 25 points. And then after Stage 1, Dillon finished 6th and Reddick finished 21st. And then entering Stage 2, Reddick was leading Austin Dillon 20 points over the cut line. And then in Stage 2, Reddick was running a whole lot better. He could have gotten a lot of points, but then Dillon came out of nowhere and was able to take second. He got 9 points, but then Reddick got 7, and so it was only a gain of 2. So then entering Stage 3, Austin Dillon was down by 18 when Tyler Reddick sat the lead. And then we still saw that big wreck happen down the backstretch. The first one, and then Tyler Reddick got involved, so that must have sucked for him. We all thought he was out, but he was able to continue and stuff, and then Dylan was having some battery voltage issue, and he had to come down pit road twice for that. And then I believe on the final restart, when the final crash down the backstretch, Austin Dillon got caught up. Reddick made it by, I don't know how. He had help from Justin Haley. I don't know how he made it through, but he was able to get a nice solid top 10 finish. While Dylan, his car was stuck on the surface of the track because of the banking at Daytona, and so Reddick made the playoffs. Austin Dillon did not, so sucks for Austin Dillon, but happy for Tyler Reddick. So that was a NASCAR playoff battle right there from this year. Definitely a wild one as well. Probably not as wild as last year, but it was definitely a wild one. Now let's see if Austin Dillon could probably just get a win. But anyway, that was the biggest story of the race. So here are the drivers who I thought had a good race. Starting out, Josh Bilicki finished 18th at Indy a couple weeks ago, and now does better than his best finish, gets 11th and stuff. So really good finish for Josh Bilicki and the 53 team. He was the only Wickware car to not have an issue. Eric Jones got a nice solid top 15 finish, finished 12th. Almirola made a huge comeback after having damage earlier with that big stack up that happened earlier. It took out him and Bowman, but then he had damage from that, but rebounds to get a nice solid top 15 finish. And then finally, the 66 of David Starr gets his best finish of the season, finishing 28th, so I just got to shout him out. So those are the drivers who I thought had a pretty nice solid race. Now we have a ton of drivers who had a bad race. Since we have a lot of drivers who had a bad race, we're going to speed through this rapidly. First up, Denny Hamlin did not win the regular season title and did not really get a nice finish that he deserved after having a really great race. Harvick got wrecked on the last lap, and then he didn't even get a nice top 10 finish, so that's a bad race for him. LaJoy got caught up in that wreck on the last lap, did not win. Same thing with Austin Dillon, missed the playoffs. Chastain also caught up in that wreck. Suarez missed a couple wrecks, but very lucky, but did not miss that last one. Kyle Larson did get caught up in that wreck, but I'll say he had a neutral day because he did win the regular season title. And then finally, Chase Briscoe, involved in one of the wrecks. I believe it was the first one. He actually made it through, and he restarted like the top 15, but then got caught up again in another wreck, so that ended that for him. So just bad luck day for him. So those are the drivers who I thought had a bad race. Now let's get to the next bunch. Damn, I need some more room. This is 19 drivers that I thought had a bad race, guys. 19. So next up to Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he got caught up in one of the wrecks, and he was running fairly in the top 5, could have had a better day. Logano pancaked the wall when we almost had that second big one unleash a lap later, so that ended his day, finished 24th. Cole Custer got caught up in that second big one, that ended his day. Matt DiBenedetto also part of that one with him and Chase Elliott making contact. That was a race for his career, and so we'll see what happens with him after this year. Martrix Jr. got caught up in that first wreck when there was checkup, and then he got hit from behind from Stenhouse, and that took him out. Bell was caught up in that second wreck. This is Brad Keselowski. Keselowski got caught up in a couple wrecks, and that second one took him out. Kyle Busch also got taken out in that second one. He looked pretty fine until he got slammed by Kaz Grala. And you had the 96 of Landon Castle. He got caught up in that first wreck. He looked like he was going to have a really great finish, but then unluckiness right there. William Byrne, innocent bystander in that first one when he got hit by Martrix Jr. And finally, Michael McDowell had an engine issue at the beginning of this race, and he finished dead last, the reigning series Daytona 500 champion and stuff. So those are all the drivers who I thought had a bad race. So here are the playoff standings. Entering into the first race of the playoffs at Darlington, you have Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Martrix Jr., Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch, Christopher Bell, Michael McDowell, Eric Almirola, Tyler Reddick, and Kevin Harvick in that final playoff spot. So here are all the drivers right now as they all have their points. Kyle Larson is officially your 2021 regular season champion, and so let's see what the playoffs can do starting from here. And that's going to do it from here. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I should have a gaming video from my gaming channel. That link will be in the description. I should have a video up tomorrow. Also, go follow me on Instagram. Link will also be in the description. I will also have my playoff predictions video for the Cup Series up on Friday. And I'll also put playoff banners on all 16 of these drivers. Put like a yellow, maybe piece of paper, a sticker and stuff, just to show that these are playoff drivers and stuff. I'm going to do yellow and stuff because that's what they're doing in real life for the Cup Series. So I can't wait to see that. Easily to spot for playoff drivers. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. So guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your night and peace out.